Hello. Hello, Matthew. Welcome. Welcome. As usual, let's go ahead and wait for the ad break. I'm gonna take a sip of my Wawa. There's a lot of art. Hello, Mega Bronson. Hello. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip of. Hello, Zako. Hello. Welcome. Big news. The mountains will crumble. I've seen the Magna Carta reading the Book of Revelation. You saw the Book of Revelations? We are indeed close news. Bibinka. Hello, Zako. Welcome. Did you retweet? I'm gonna tweet as soon as the ad is done. As soon as the ad break is done. Hello, Shadnord. Hello. At the Crypto Bear news. You can comment it now, but just know that the ad break's gonna be soon, so I'll read it after. And there it is. Well, at least that's what Saribot says. Alright, I'll see you guys after the break. Alright, cool. According to Saribot, the ad break's finishing up. Hello, C-May. Hello. News? Ask about it? Sure, tell me your news. Share the good news. Go for it. Yeah, I think everyone's back from the ad break. We'll give it another couple seconds or so, and then we'll go ahead and go on to the main screen. My mouth is just really dry because I woke up from a nap. Like about an hour and a half ago? And I was just prepping stuff. I was chatting with beeplebees. Oh my god, their PFP still freaking gets me. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the main room. Wow! Hello everyone, hello. Ooh, okay, I immediately saw what you said, Zako. I'm gonna read it soon, but let me do my welcome. And hello everyone, hello. I'm Babinka Bear. Artist historian. Wait, that's my old opening. What am I doing? I'm on like auto mode. I'm your local sun bear and art history teacher. And today we're finally doing a little bit of art appreciation. It's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been a minute since I last did it. Look at all the Babinkubs scuttling about. All right, let's say our hellos, and then I just saw what Zako said. Oh my gosh. Okay, so hello Matthew. Hello, Zako. Hello, Shadnord. Hello, Mega Bronson. Hello, C-May. Hello. Hello, Dreamy. Hello, beeplebees. Oh no, ads. Frozen Babinka. But yeah, okay, so Zako. I'm a girlfriend. This is my first relationship born from feelings and not business, survival, or abuse. We're both poly and made an official polycule. Congrats! Zako, that makes me so happy to hear. Congrats! Read my news. I'm reading it. I'm reading it. Breaking news. I'm so happy to hear that. I read it. I read it. Yeah, congrats. I'm happy to hear that for you. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, same to you, Shad. Same to you. Let's get some music playing. I don't know if you guys heard, but there's this cool new song that came out recently by one of my Oshis, and it's on Spotify. So let's listen to that, and then before that I was listening to more Atarashi Gakko. So let's listen to that while we chat a little bit. Well, yeah, for a teensy bit, but then we have a lot of art to look at today. So we'll get into that. But yeah, how are y'all doing? Aside from Zako's good news, how's everyone doing? I just had the usual like work stuff today. Oh my god, so I was supposed to go to a doctor today. Not for any emergency. It was just like it was an appointment. But as soon as I started closing in on where this is my first time at this new doctor too. I guess I'll just say it's a cardiologist. They just want to make sure that nothing's wrong with my heart. With my heart. I'm not in any danger. It's just that there's like it's high cholesterol and stuff runs in the family, and I haven't really been eating the healthiest of foods, so so there's just a precaution. I've never once like had anything like a heart attack, but it does feel like I'm at risk, so that's why they just want to make sure, right? So but I have been eating healthier lately. I've been eating lots of salads, so wait, let me make sure that the music's not too loud. Okay, cool. But yeah, let me catch up on chat, and then I'll finish my story about the doctor. I love his song so much. Yeah, me too. Me too. Sako finds that love isn't abusive. Is that Caravaggio? It's not. It's actually a recommendation from Matthew. This is Brower. Well, we'll take a look in a minute. It looks like Pog, right? It's so Pog. Still a wizard last I checked. Filipino disease as well as diabetes. Yeah, exactly. Other big news? Feel free to share. But to end off my news about the doctor, so the doctor's walking distance. So I took a walk over to where it is. And then as I was closing in, there's this coffee shop that me and Beans like to go to. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but straight up, I think a car drove into the coffee shop. Like there was broken glass, there was yellow tape, there was like, like a lot of furniture that was just like ruined, right? So I didn't see the car itself, but I just saw like the after effects. So like I believe like I guess a car drove into it. And I was like, dang, that freaking sucks. I hope everyone's okay. Hope no one, got hurt and stuff. But then I was like, okay, now to get to the doctor, right? And like I said, I'd never been to this doctor before. So it turns out it was like in the second floor of this plaza. So I go upstairs and I find the office and I knock on the door because it's locked and no answer for like 5 minutes. And then I wait there just in case because I was a little bit early to my appointment and I was like, oh, maybe they're not open yet. Maybe like I'm still waiting for them to come in. Nothing happens, and then right as I'm about to give them a call, someone finally answers the door, but they're not dressed in scrubs or anything. They're just in like like a t-shirt and jeans. And they were like, oh, the office is closed. And then she referred to the staff as they, so I'm imagining she's not part of the staff or like part of the regular staff, and she's like, oh yeah, they had to close today because of the car accident downstairs. There was like structural damage, so office is closed. So I was like, dang. Like, thanks for letting me know, but dang, I didn't even get like a text message, I didn't get a phone call or anything. But if it's like an emergency, understandable, but it was like, dang, that sucks. For one, I like that coffee shop. I was even planning on going there after the cardiology appointment. So I was like, ah, darn, no coffee, I guess. And then I go upstairs and find out, oh, I guess no appointment either. So I guess I'm going home. Which, I don't want to necessarily make it about myself. I don't want to be like, oh, darn car accident, now I can't see the doctor and get my coffee, I do hope that no one got hurt or anything, but also like, dang, what a turn of events. But yeah, that was kind of like the big thing for today. Got home, did some work, took a nap. That was the rest of the day. So let's see what you guys are saying. Freedom. Ask about my new news. What's your new news? Ooh, wait, is your birthday tomorrow, Dreamy? That's my news. You got your birthday coming up soon. Nice. Happy early birthday. I'm officially 1 week into my HRT and oh my god, it's cold. Yo, congrats! I'm so happy for you, Zako. Not only the romance, but also the HRT. Congrats. Yeah, and then Dreamy's turning older. Let's go. Everyone's got the good news today. Yeah. What about the doctor's note? My referral? I did print it out, but no one was there. News Babika, praise Zako. Yes, everyone praise. Oh, that was the end of the song. So let's listen to I've been really into Atarashi Gakko, and I'm getting back into 88 Rising, even though every so often I do listen to them on stream. So we'll listen to a mix of both. I've been listening to like that one of Rich Brian, the Edamame song, but let's listen to Atarashi Gakko. But yeah, so because it's a Friday and because the office was the doctor's office was closed, I'm just gonna wait till Monday and call and be like, hey, when's my appointment? You guys didn't tell me anything. I understand AFAB women always being cold. I actually don't know much about that. Like, yeah, I'm just cis, you know? So like I don't know much, so I haven't heard like what the experiences are, but that would be interesting to think about. Hello, Clyde. Hello. Yeah, we got I might actually just jump right into the art appreciation today because like I said, we got a lot because it's been a minute. I feel like it's been like over 2 months or something. But yeah, let's take a look at what is on the docket for today. I'm send me this playlist later. I must sleep. Yeah, get some rest, especially like you had a busy day. So yeah. Get some rest. The playlist is just this artist, Atarashi Gakko. Otonaburu. But yeah. So here's what we got. We actually have like 8 pieces of art, but I'm gonna try and cut it into like 2 chunks. So this is what we're gonna do. I have 4 works here that we're gonna do more of like an in-depth, like analysis of. This is an artist called Adrian Brouwer. This is recommended by Matthew. He has some interesting work. I've never studied his work before, but he seems like a Flemish master. I have studied Flemish artists before. And then, who recommended this? Let me check my list again. Was it Toge? Oh yeah, this was recommended by Toge Nebula. These are skins for League of Legends. I don't partake. Dare to say no to LOL, but but the art looks really cool, so we'll look at that. And then we have this was recommended by Shiopi. This is the pixel art of 5Crad. And they have a pretty unique style, so I definitely want to take a look at it. For me, it was like the text here that like it made me kind of nostalgic. So there's that. And then finally there's Frank Franzetta. This was recommended by Owen. They seem to be like they've made a lot of like modern fantasy artwork. I don't know much about them. I didn't really have time to do research either, but if you guys have information on this artist, we could do our research together. So in addition to those 4, we also have some like honorable mentions, so to speak. So we're also going to be taking like a quick look at some other things that people recommended. So this was a video of what is this, North of the Border, and he makes an earth elemental. I watched the video beforehand and it looks really cool, so I'm just going to be like zipping around the video and just showing off like all their texture work. It looks pretty cool. And then another one is, this was recommended by Sime. There we go. I think this is, what is this from? This is Tin Man Phase Face by Shutun. I like the design. We'll only be looking, like for these 4, we're just gonna be like, not glancing, but like we're not gonna spend too much time, but I still wanted to kind of like look at them, right? Tokyo Coding. And this is another one recommended by Shiopi. This is official derp tiles, and they did specifically a Diplocaulus as a croissant. And then lastly, this was recommended by Mayshark. This is Chocolato-kun, and they did a mock-up of of a Filipino isekai. So we'll just take a quick look at them. We might even like intersperse it. We might do this where like Adrian Bauer first and then the Earth Elemental. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna organize my tabs right now. There we go. Tokyo calling. Tokyo calling. But yeah, before we do that, let's go ahead and jump onto chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. And we'll go ahead and get started. Everyone getting their stickers. I spent the day cleaning my partner's place because them and their nesting partner are in Chicago. Ooh, okay. And me and Athena, owner of a company, Queer Athena, are going to Salem on the 21st in Canada from... Ooh, nice. Things are happening. I'm so happy for you, Zako. I just saw pictures of drunks with cats. Yeah, that's what I got out of this one too. As you can see, I'm on the Wikipedia page for Adrian Brouwer. And it seems like they focus a lot on like the work of like peasants or like the lives of the quote unquote lower class, right? So drinking, smoking, card dice, but I think there is a work with like a little kitty cat. See if we can find it. Oh, I'm gonna pause for a second. Tokyo Karin. I think you also posted a picture of the cats on the Discord, so I'll look at those as well. But yeah, let's see. And it was like, yo, look at them cats. They were really cute. And then Shadow and I made this emote yesterday. Oh, cute! Nice, nice. I know. I saw that you were streaming art today, right? I was able to look for a little bit, but then that was right before I had to dip out to my doctor's appointment. Let me see if I can get those pictures again. The kitty cats. Oh, here we go. We are matching. Oh my god, this cat is humongous! The cat is so big. You know what? Let's focus. Okay, we'll do a little bit of research. I also kind of want... one reason why I really like doing art appreciation too is because I want to show you guys like what my process is with doing a research, because I feel like the word research is very intimidating for some folks, especially if you had like a bad time learning about how to do research papers in school, right? But research can be really easy. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, next time I do want to chat. But typically I lurk when like I have like a meeting coming up or when I have to like skedaddle, right? So cuz I don't want to like I love chatting with folks, of course, but I don't want to just like pop in for 2 minutes and be like, okay, gotta go. You know, I don't want to ruin the flow of the streamer, you know. So yeah, next time I'll drop by. I'll be in chat. But yeah. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about Adrian Brouwer. So, like I said, I had never heard of this guy prior to like Matthew recommending him. But it seems like he was a Flemish painter, according to the Wikipedia article. And I have studied Flemish painters before. It was one of my first art history classes in like when I transferred. That we looked into artists like Van Eyck. Oh, I put Jan Eyck. it's Jan van Eyck, but you know, this is one of like the more famous like Flemish painters. So around the time of the Renaissance, there was also like another Renaissance happening up in the north, as they call it. The class was called Northern Renaissance Artists. The professor was like really well versed in them. So we learned about like Jan van Eyck. That's like one of the big ones. But we also learned about my other top favorite, Hieronymus Bosch. My dude, Hieronymus Bosch. Famous for the Garden of Earthly Delights, right? So, oh, by the way, I should tell you guys. I'll tell you guys later. I've been playing Metaphor. I really like a Metaphor. It's called Metaphor Refantasio. It's like another Atlas game, but it's very inspired. Like the monster designs are inspired by Hieronymus Bosch, and it's so cool, y'all. Oh my god! Wait. We gotta zoom into this one. Scratch off Bosch mention from today's bingo. You guys should make or maybe I should make like a bingo card. Okay, this is gonna take a while because it's such a huge image. Sneaks in class. What are you doing, May? Why are you late? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's okay. There's no hard start to this. Okay, this is taking a minute. Should I? Din, din, din. Din, din, din. I just wanted to highlight like here. I really want to zoom in, but this is the first monster in Metaphor. There's legit like a monster. Look, I'll even show you. I posted it on my Discord. I just saw Cielo's picture again. It was so good. It's the first boss monster. Okay, wait, let's do a little bit of compare and contrast. Will this load? I just want this to load. Psst, did she take a roll yet? Hello, Beans. Hello. I was definitely not siphoning the cars. Definitely not that. No, this is gonna take forever. This is gonna take forever. Howdy, class. Sorry, I'm late. Garden of Earthly Delights. Wait. Come on, I want to see it. Show me the garden. Is it gonna load a little bit faster? It's okay to be late, Beans. You're getting me foodums. Man, I wanna show you guys. Torianse, Torianse. Torianse, Torianse. Okay, tools. Yeah, let's see if this one will load. Okay, there we go. Look at this. Look at this giraffe. Look at the owl. Look at the owl. It has like an owl with like a weird body with like two combined figures and then fruits. And now look at this boss. This is the first boss in the, it's in the demo, so I don't consider it too much of a spoiler, but this is the first boss from Metaphor. See, it has like the owl features, it has like the fruit features, it has like the mangled legs, right? Totally like a Bosch reference, right? I also just really like Metaphor in general. Like I feel like this is gonna be my my gateway into Atlas games, right? I like it a lot. The Bibinka Bear bingo card, Bosch, Digimon eating the cars, our school facing financial issues, classroom roleplay, Binka gets attacked. No attacks, no! Hello, Hanel, hello. We're doing a little bit of art appreciation today. So yeah, it was a bit of a tangent, but the game is very obviously based off of Hieronymus Bosch's work. So, who is another Flemish master, as they call him. So let's go back to the artist that we're supposed to be focusing on is Adrian Brouwer. And what makes him pretty unique, at least from my impression of him from this article, is that instead of, you know, at the time, like lots of artists would focus on like painting the upper classes, right? Like the royalty, the nobility, right? And showing them. This guy focused more on the quote unquote lower class. So peasants, soldiers, and not even just like showing them like, oh, I want to show them, you know, doing the most, you know, like, wise of moves, right? Or the most dignified of acts. Instead, he shows them, you know, drinking, smoking, cards and dice, fighting, music making, and they're in taverns, rural settings. And from the images that they show here in the article, it even shows them like, you know, this is called the bitter draft, right? A guy just like drinking like a super bitter drink, and instead of showing him all like, yes, I do love the bitter drinks, instead it's like, bleh. Yuck. Don't forget the flood detention, someone trying to eat Mr. Pancake. No, don't eat him. Don't eat him. He's the substitute teacher. If I go away, who's gonna teach you guys? Who's gonna teach you guys? You know, he's like super expressive. That's why I started off with this one. This one is very pog, you know, as the kids say. The smokers, they're doing the smoke. Dare to say no to drugs, kiddos. Oh my god, wait, they're doing tricks. Cause like not only is this guy like, he could have easily just like had them look, you know, kind of neutral and just like with like wisps of smoke, but instead it's like this very expressive, you know, like, oh, you want to join us for a smoke? You know, with like the wisp. And then if you go over to this guy, look, he's blowing it out of his nose. He's showing us the tricks. Like, how, like, how far away are we from the smoke rings? Has this guy, like, these are the questions I'm wondering. Has this guy drawn, like, a guy doing tricks with, like, if he lived nowadays, he'd be drawing the kids vaping, right? And doing the smoke rings, doing the...
I just love sulfuric acid.
I just love sulfuric acid. Hello, Cielo. The original Pog. Yeah. Their faces are kind of meme-ish Pog. Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. Like, this guy, you could totally imagine this guy doing, like, oil paintings of, like, kids ripping their ripping their vapes. Doing, like, I wish I could do it how, like, how Casper did it, right? The I need more fluid. Draw your squad prop goes crazy. Exactly, right? Trying to figure out how to... There we go. Zoom in. I like this guy's face. Yo, he's rolling one. He's rolling one. You could see the little doobies. The little joints. They're rolling them. Look at his face. He's like, you know you want some. Once again, dare to say no to drugs, everybody. Even though I make no judgments, but... He even has a pipe. I think this is so charming. The little, like, he's doing tricks. He's doing tricks. He's doing smoke tricks. Throw sulfuric acid onto the bingo. No, not the sulfuric acid. I just love sulfuric acid. So, yeah, like, he's showing a little bit more of, like, the people, right? And he's kind of humanizing them, too, instead of just, like... you know, it's not dignified, but it is, like, it's very human, right? Like, the guy making the face, the guy doing the tricks, the guy making that little coy face as he's rolling a joint, you know? This one, too. Peasants brawling over cards. Tag yourself. I'm the old woman in the back. I'm like, what's going on over there? It's like you guys when you guys are, like, arguing over cars. Loving the expressions. Yeah, right? The guy behind be like, I don't know these guys. Exactly. So that, oh look, it's called smell. I think, is this cleaning a baby? Yeah, it's a guy cleaning a baby. We're not gonna go into too much detail with that, but but it's just very real. I like it. Youth making a face. Right? It reminds me of there's another artist, right? It's an American artist who, like, he does portraits of himself, but he's, like, stretching and he's doing, like, wacky faces and stuff. I tend to like those kinds of artists because it just shows more of, like, a snapshot of what's actually going on in life during that time. This is in the 1600s, by the way, so love it, but I also want to focus on the ones that Matthew had shown us. So we got these ones with little kitty cats. These are cute too. I do love, if you think about it, there's a lot of artists. I think there's even a blog. Give me a second. Cats in art. Yeah, that's the one, Matthew. That's the one that I was thinking of. Joseph DeCrow. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name. But I think what's funny about this, these images of the kitty cats is that, like, I feel like by default, showing animals and pets, like, is even more humanizing because you do see it across time and even culture. Like, where is it? I want the ones where it's like still life with cat. Still life cat. Where is it? Still life with cat. I think there was like a Twitter thread of just like still life with cat. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it. I found it. Okay, here we go. So this is just a whole thread of still lives, but also with cats. And it's just so like I said, these are the ones that provide like a snapshot into like different time periods, right? Because it's easy to just show like, you know, the best parts of a culture through art. But like, I don't know, this makes it maybe not necessarily humanizing, but it makes it more relatable too. It's like, oh, have you ever not yelled at your cat, but you're just like, get off the table, you know you're not supposed to eat that, you know? Like, and here's someone painted it. This is by Alexander Francois de Cortez. I don't know how to pronounce French. And then this one, Giovanni Rivalta. Look, you could tell that the that someone would be like, "Hey, you get that out of your mouth. You get that out of your mouth." And the fact that this is like its own genre, it's enough of a genre that there's a whole Twitter thread of like of kitties doing like they're they're not supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be doing that. It's like, get off the table. I said get off the table. My cat every Thursday. It's true. Wait, let me catch up on chat. Oh, Joseph Ducrot. Yeah. Let me see if I can find better pics. I love the one artist who drew the really sad, lonely kitten. Oh, there's one with like the kitty with the little like frill, right? Like the little like royalty frill. Hello, Barda Wolf. Hello. Every day. My cat every Thursday. Yeah, exactly. I like this one too because it's doing the thing where the cat doesn't necessarily like snatch the food. First, he like paws at it, right? And then he's like, mine. You get off the table. I think about this every time I'm like talking to Schnackery and I'm like, you get off the table. I told you to get off the table. I always wonder if like ancient Egyptians were also like, like they're always like, Bastet, you get off the table. You get off the table right now. Time is cyclical. History is cyclical. Someone really thought cute. I gotta paint that. The olden version of the shame posting the bed. I know. I'm surprised there isn't more of these paintings where the cat is just like they have like a little sign and it's like I have stolen the bread for the day and I am being punished thusly. So going back to Adrian Brower's work, we get a little bit of that relatability of like the kitty cat with showing the lower classes, the peasantry, kind of like also kind of enjoying the cat's company. I like the little detail here of the cat looking up at the glass. They're just like, whoa, what's going on there? And I love this one. Look how chonky this guy is. He's so fat. I love the big old chonkers. My two cats, Schneckery and Gino, they're big, but they're not this big. This feels a little exaggerated, but like at the same time, who could blame the guy, right? Who wouldn't want to draw like and paint those comically large paws, right? Gino has like comically large paws. That's I like him a lot. There's another one. This one just feels so relatable, right? Like you're chilling with your homies, you're having a kickback with a drink, a little bit of Coors or whatever, pick your poison, and then little kitty cat, he's just chilling. He's chilling with the boys, He's like, meh. No neck, he doesn't need one. It's so cute. It's so cute. Like I said, it's the relatability that I think makes Brower very fascinating too. Let's see. I think the Egyptians were like, whatever you want, because didn't they? They did, but also, like I said, the art that's left over from, especially like ancient cultures, is the stuff that is like revering them. It's like the stone statues, that stuff, I don't know, like it's the stuff revering them, but I 100% like bet that as much as they revere them, they also were like, hey, you get off the table. Or, there's multiple gods, right? In different like pantheons in Egypt. So I'm also willing to bet that it's like, hey, that's for Amun-Ra. That's not for you. That's for Amun-Ra. Like you take that out of your mouth. You take it out of your mouth right now. That one's for Horus. You take it out of your mouth. You get away from here. Get away. So I'm willing to bet. You know what? I feel like a good comparison would be like, I wonder if, for example, like people who practice Hinduism, they revere cows, right? But don't you think they also probably have their moments where it's like, hey, you get out of here eating my grass. You get out of here. You can get grass somewhere else, goddess. Cat drinking buddy, yeah. I mean, for the longest time, writing tools were for the wealthy. Love the tummy, so floofy. Yeah, let's take a look. That's another thing too. When Dia was drawing a raccoon, I was complimenting the strokes, right? Like the all of the strokes it takes to make like a fluffy, furry texture. You could see that here too. But you could also kind of see it in the background. You could see all the brush strokes. It's pretty cool to see. Great vibes from these, yeah. The stuff that survived. Yeah, exactly. I'm willing to bet that there might have been like what we're kind of missing from the historical timeline is a lot of the art that is made out of material that has faded away. So there's probably a lot of art on leaves or made out of like leaves or made out of things that have just faded away and are lost to history. Who's to say that there weren't like contemporary little it's like Roman graffiti. Have you guys seen the Roman graffiti where it's like, oh, I was here and I, did sexual actions with another person, I'm willing to bet there's probably like, little humorous comics maybe. Like, can you imagine like ancient Egyptian like doodles? It's like what's the name of that Viking kid? There was a Viking kid where he was drawing was it like Ophir? He was like doodling on his rune homework. He was like, look, this is me and my best friend and we're warriors, Like, who's to say there aren't ancient Egyptian doodles of like, this is my cat, Nefer Pet. And she is always on the table, even though I tell her to not be on the table. Curse of Ra. That's one of the reasons John Blanche didn't use blue or green inks. They fade easier. Ah, I see. Is that Egyptian loss at the end there? Oh my god. It very well could be. Let me see what you posted of this is Joseph. Yeah, this is Joseph Ducrot. He's another artist, but I believe is he American or British? Born in France, but like did he grow up? Oh, I guess he's French. He's French then. Yeah, he does a lot of look. These are Joseph Ducrot's paintings, and it's a lot of self-portraits. But it's like, it's not in the conventional, like, oh, he's just sitting, nicely for a self-portraiture. He drew himself, like, stretching and being like, wah! And being like, hush. Disregard females, acquire currency. See, it's very charming. It's very charming. So, yeah, we went on a lot of different tangents, but all to appreciate this guy, Adrian Brower. Very nice work. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation, Matthew. Thank you. Let's see, anything else? Oh, you know what? If you guys want to check out some of Adrian Brower's work, here is the Wikipedia article. You could also learn a little bit about him as well. But yeah, I also mentioned early on that, like, I wanted to show you guys, like, what is the process of, like, researching? First of all, like, nowadays, Wikipedia is a little bit more dependable compared to, like, if you grew up, like, in the 2000s and your teachers were like, oh, don't use Wikipedia because anyone can edit it. It's still true, but now, especially for a lot of pages, they have moderators and, they have things in place so that you don't just, like, erase this whole article and are like, yeah, Adrian Brower, he was kind of a scrub, kind of a nerd, really, and, like, delete everything. Not only that, but you see these numbers over here. These are references to, like, further reading or where they cited their reference. So if you click on, let's say we want to find out, oh, you know what? When I was reading about his life here, and they say that in one of these books, they, like, erroneously, like, they got his, like, life story wrong. So, let's see. It's generally now accepted that Brower was born in this place, in Flanders. Father died. So, what's the source here, right? Here's a little number. Click on that. So, here. Unger, Adrian Brower, to Haarlem. And they even put the page numbers of where you can find this information. But just know that it's going to be in Dutch. So, you would just get this. And maybe put Unger since that's the author. And look, we have a PDF. There we go. We have a source. And then I think they even say like pages 161 to something. So yeah, see, you have a source right here to kind of back up everything you need. The only thing is that it is in Dutch, so you might either need to like translate it. I generally like to find the primary source or like a really dependable source, right? Another thing, if you want to keep on researching a certain topic, we can stay on Brower, but you could also go to Google Scholar. And then you can look up Adrian there we go. Brower. And you get all of these, oh, it's a little hard to see. But you get all of these articles that you could read. And they themselves also have sources that you could cite as well. So that's, for me, that's why, like, it's not too hard to do research. I think the main thing is, like, when you're writing research papers, I think that's the main thing is you have to know how to outline your paper and you have to know how to convince the audience of your main point. Like the mark of a good like, you know, I don't know how many of you just like read essays in your spare time. I really don't. I just kind of watch more like video essays, but a good thing is that they all have a central point, which is like your thesis. So if you were trying to say, for example, that like I think that Adrian Brower is a better artist that shows I don't know, that shows humor. He shows humor more effectively than Joseph Ducrot, right? Let's say that that's your main point. You need evidence for each of that. So, like, this would come from the paintings, your own analysis, and then all of these articles. So, yeah, for me, like, writing essays was always, like, well, not always. When I worked as a tutor, writing essays became a lot easier. So, but I understand for people that, like, you know, if that wasn't their focus in school, I can understand why it's a bit of a struggle. But not to plug myself too, but like I said, once upon a time I was a writing tutor, so if you guys ever need help with your essays, you let me know. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna go get dinner. See you, teacher. Thank you, Hanel. Thank you. Have a good dinner. Yeah. Source, trust me, bro. You could do that too. All right, so that was Adrian Brower. That was also a little tangent into like how to do research. So now we're gonna skip to our first. I feel like I should give it a name. Like I'm thinking like Binka Bites, right? Like a little bits and pieces of you know, this. We're not gonna do a full on art analysis of this one, but since this is a video, we could just like fast forward through it and just enjoy it, right? But I do recommend that you guys look at this video yourself, if you're so interested. Yeah, I watched it. This was recommended by Aura. It's recommended by Aura, and it's a pretty cool like just time lapse of how this guy made like an earth elemental. They made it out of clay, and I think what I really liked was seeing how he makes the texture, because this is supposed to, in the end, it ends up looking like stone. I think he posed it like a gorilla. And I'm not gonna lie, this is also to rest my voice a little bit. So let's watch a little bit. And I'll skip around while I sip some water. You know what, we can also put subtitles. Hey, you see how he's like putting in the texture? Because this is clay. I don't know specifically what kind of clay, but he's just like kind of cutting off specific like shapes. I like the eyes. Yeah, he's kind of like chipping away at it to make that rocky texture. It's also very satisfying to watch. Like, if there's a visual version of like ASMR, you know, I feel like this is it. Yeah, he's doing the little like wait, I have this as an emote. He's doing like these kinds of eyes, right? Yeah, let's skip forward a little bit. He makes a little like biome on top. This is another part that's really satisfying to watch, is seeing him like make his colors. There you go. Like the more he applies like color to it, the more rocky it looks too. Basing mini, And I like that, you know, he is being very precise, but also for something like this, which is meant to be what's called like organic. Organic means like it's from life, it's from like nature. You don't need to be super precise. In some parts he like I guess in some parts he is being very precise, and he does make it look kind of easier than it is, but it's because he very likely has a lot of experience. I think about that because I was also watching Bettel paint a pumpkin today, but then I had to Then I had to take a nap because I don't know, I was it wasn't that the video was boring or anything. I think because I woke up early I woke up early to like prep for my doctor's appointment. I was like feeling very eepy by the afternoon. So yeah, what's really cool about this is like he's also adding some like highlights and shadows to it too. And then this he makes like pine trees. Drawing the eyes, or painting rather. He's gonna put it in like he's gonna make it look like it's kind of trudging through water, like an island. I think the really cool part is how he paints the water to make it look like waves and like splashes. Yeah, the scale's really cool. I like it. He's like doing a little lake in it. Oh, so this is a diorama. Oh, I've heard the term diorama. I associate it with like, you know, school dioramas, but so this is like a like I guess is that the word that you would use as kind of like a there's like a whole scene kind of going on? Oh yeah, and he's doing like a waterfall. Gambate, gambate. I'm also gonna change the music to 88 Rising. Here, he's like adding more texture to the water. Here, so he's adding a little bit of white paint, and it does a really cool effect. It makes it like, you know, the foam that happens when like water kind of like splashes around a lot. And he doesn't I think he even says here that like you have to use it sparingly, otherwise it's gonna look more like a snow like a snow place. And he puts it around like the feet. And it just creates this illusion that like it's the movement of this giant elemental is like making waves. So it's cool, like, and like I said, it's not precise. Like it not saying that he's not precise. I'm saying that he doesn't need to be precise. But just from like all the experience he has, he's able to kind of like create these really cool illusions. Oh, you know, this guy north of the border is great. Yeah, Aura's the one who recommended it, and like now that I've seen like his stuff here, I've been getting more recommendations here, and I'm like, I'm pretty down to keep on watching more of his stuff. In the city of angels. I think these are like one of the last touches. Yeah, I really like the texture. I really like how like I said, there you don't really need to be precise. He kind of just like these mossy parts, he puts like glue in places where he thinks that they would work, and then like he sprinkles like the I think it's called like kimchi on it. Not like Korean kimchi, I think that's just what it's called. And here we go. It looks cool, right? I think that's also what I like about painterly paintings, is that like when you zoom in, it doesn't seem super precise, and yet because the painter or the artist knows what they're doing, it like reads really well. He's funny too. Nice. Him and Studson. Oh, okay. Flocking. Okay. But yeah, it's nice, isn't it? So yeah, thank you, Aura, for recommending this guy. Yeah. Alright, how about this? I would like to take a little bit of a break. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm just gonna take a little mini voice break. I'm just gonna sip some water and eat my salad. I'm trying to think of what to have you guys do. I could send you to recess. But it's not quite time for an ad break yet, so. Bless you. Not yet. I linked Studson in the Art Appreciation channel if you ever feel like looking. His stuff is cool. Nice! The Model Train People and War Gamers. Wait, what was it? Wargamers are all have a fun overlap of skills. Oh, nice! Nice, nice. Matthew, thank you for gifting us up to Cielo. Let's go. He uses trash for bills. Wait, that would be so cool for like an art project for kids. Like I think like the art projects for kids that are really useful are the ones that like use recyclable materials. Yeah, I don't mean to say that like, oh, like yeah, making minis is like kid stuff. That's not what I'm saying. It's more of like I really like having students and kids like look into using reusable material or stuff that's in their home because it makes art a little bit more accessible. Because I feel like a lot of people have the assumption that like you need fancy stuff to get into art. Not really. All you really need is like a pen and paper. You know, if you want to get into digital art, MS Paint is there. You know, it's an option. But if you want to get into sculpture or traditional art, there's lots of like accessible materials for you. My one of my drawing professors was like, she had us like get cardboard and like brown shopping bags and like do art on them to like prove that point. So yeah. It's also super fun for Orky Crafts. It's Orktober. He made Howl's Moving Castle entirely out of trash and random gunpowder. Ooh, very nice, very nice. All right, I'm gonna eat my salad. You know what? I know what I'll have you guys do. You guys want to do a boss battle? I feel like it's been a minute since we could do boss battle or basketball. You guys tell me what you would like to do. I think boss battle would be longer though, so I'll leave it up to you to decide. You know what? We could do a poll. I want to kill the boss? Okay, let's do the boss battle then. Let's do the boss battle. Alright everyone, so you would have to type in like join and then let's say necromancer. There we go. You're trapped under a cat. It's okay, Bartawolf, it's okay. So you have to put join and then your role. Hello Owen! We're gonna do some recess. We're gonna do a boss battle. Since I want to eat my salad and rest my voice. So you don't have to join if you don't want to, but you know, for people that want to, feel free. There's less than 30 seconds left. And then I believe you just need to enter in numbers when it's your turn. I think there's also NPCs, so even if not enough people join, there's gonna be NPCs helping you guys. I'll let the others fight. I just got done. Yeah, no worries, Bartawolf, no worries. There we go. We got our battle. Nice. A lot of you just joined. Cool. All right, so Cielo, I think you could just put 1 or you could put like exclamation point like bear rejuvenation or treant. So I will be fighting with you guys, but I'm gonna go on mute to eat my salad. I was gonna say, I think there's like a little bit of a delay, so I apologize for that. No. I think you know what? I think I have a move. I hope we can heal Owen before death. Okay, my turn. Oh no, the NPC. Or is it Owen? I can't tell. I think I'll just do 2. Oh, you're fused with an NPC. I see it. I think it's NPC 1. Oh, nice! Good job. Good job, everybody. I'm gonna take one more bite of my salad and then we'll get back to it. Good job, everybody. We ascended, yeah. Do you get to drive the Itasha? Yeah, you do. Get in, partner. Oh yeah, I needed that break. That was good. That was real good. Okay. Let me unpin this one. Unpin this message. Alright, so I think we are reaching the hour mark, so we might get an ad soon. But we'll at least get started with looking at this next one. So this one was recommended by Toge. And I don't know if it says the artist. But this is from League of Legends. Is that what they're called? It reminds me of a bunch of cards from the Hololive. Yeah, they're called Itasha. I barely learned about it like maybe a couple of weeks ago actually. So no, you know what? I think I learned about the name when I got that asset from I got my assets from the same place where all of the corpo VTubers get them from. It's called Irastoya, because it's like free to use like images. Here, I'll show you guys. It's just called irastoya.com. So if you, for like the fellow streamers, if you guys need like free assets. The thing is that it is in Japanese. You can search in English, but it's actually better if you go to Google Translate and like pop the translation into here. So you know, if you ever need like, oh, spooky season, you know, you could use these. But yeah, when I got the one for the let's go back. When I got the one for the car, the file name was Itasha, and then I think Beans also like confirmed that that's what they're called. But yeah, so let's see. So Toge recommended these images. This is from, I guess, some skins for League of Legends. Remember, guys, dare to say no to drugs. So these are they look like Halloween Fright Night. I don't know much about League, but Itasha paint card. Oh, like an Ita bag, right? Because isn't Ita bag like it's the same etymology, because it's like the pain of creating this thing for your Oshi. You make a painful noise when you see it. Oh my gosh. It's true. It's true. But yeah, so we got Fright Night Vega. Yeah, I don't know anything about like these guys other than Shaco from League of Legends, because it became a meme in the Hololive community. But yeah, so We got Fright Night Vagar, like little pumpkin, or I guess pumpkin vibes, pumpkin witch vibes. Now that I look at it, it's not really a pumpkin, huh? It's like more of a skull with like a witch's hat, but I think because it's orange. Oh, we have the ad break. So, you know what? Before we get like really into analyzing this one, let's just go ahead and get that ad break. We're gonna go back to recess. I'm gonna eat more of my salad. Now in front of my salad. But we still have about a minute before it like plays, so you guys feel free to chill. Oh, there's more skins too. Yeah. Because afterwards we're going to look at those League of Legends skins, and then we're also gonna look at I guess I don't quite know what to call it yet, but we're gonna do like an in-depth discussion of one art piece, and then we're gonna do like kind of a bite-sized commentary on like another, and I think that's how I'm gonna try and balance things. Operative word being try. But alright, I think the ad break is about to start in a little less than 10 seconds, so I'm gonna go on mute again, eat more of my salad. You guys enjoy yourselves. Get some water and get some snacks. What are you guys doing? Drinks the cars. Big sweet potatoes on the car engines. Ooh, yummy. It's got that motor flavor. Memes from adult entertainment are wild. I mean, I would expect as much if it's adult entertainment. Alright, let's get back into it, shall we? Woo! Okay. So what do we got here? Let's go through like the images first, and then we'll go a little bit more into like details that I'm appreciating from this. So we have these League of Legends Halloween skins. Fright Night. We got the Vagar. We got Pike. This looks like kind of ocean themed, right? I really like the textures. I think that's what I'll focus in on for this one. And Shaco from League of Legends. The only reason I know about Shaco is because of the like Hollow Stars memes of like how Altair like hates Shaco from League of Legends. That's all I really know. And then Nunu and Willump. Oh, spooky. And then there's a couple more in the second one too. So this is Zeri. And then we have Prestige Fright Night Zeri. Ah, okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and get into like the actual like analysis, shall we? So right off the bat, when I looked at these images and like prepping for this, the texture is kind of what stood out to me. Let's go ahead and open this image so we can zoom in a little bit. If you look at the gloves, they have this it reminds me of what's the name? The villain from Nightmare Before Christmas? Oogie Boogie, Woogie Boogie Woogie. It reminds me of that. It looks like the gloves are made out of like a burlap sack, right? And they did a really good job of showing that texture because not only is it they're basically doing a lot of cross hatching. So that's like, you know, going from you know, like showing lines but like crossing over. But there's different types. So like the bottommost texture is almost like this kind of knitted texture over here that you can see here. It's almost like a braided texture. But then over that, there's also like some highlights, and then there's also other like pen marks. Like here, 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 that just keeps adding to that effect of like it being like a burlap sack. But one thing to notice is that they're not overdoing it because they could easily just use these like thick black lines, right? And they can like have it encompass the entire hand. But I think that would be a little much, especially with like you already have like this overarching texture right here. And then they have like this pretty not harsh light, but just dramatic lighting. They have dramatic lighting and it's like glowing in a way. But even that also has a little bit of cross hatching. But I like this detail here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little. Where like if we're assuming that this like glove is made out of a burlap sack, there's some tearing into it, right? Like there's some stray lines that indicate that like, oh, some parts are a little bit torn, like there's a little bit of wear and tear. God, my nose is itchy again. You see it here as well with like some stray lines. And even this like, let's zoom in here. This line, they really could have just like, it could have just been like a little squiggle. And that adds a little bit more to that burlap sack kind of texture effect. And then someone made an account called Shaco from League of Legends. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you see kind of similar effects in the hat as well, where you're seeing like kind of multiple textures or multiple cross hatching techniques in order to kind of like really like nail in what kind of texture they're trying to convey here. It's very like brush art too. I really like the dramatic lighting too. I'm late for class, runs in with bread in mouth. Hello, Shiopi. Hello. Yeah, no worries. We haven't gotten to the ones that you recommended yet. We're looking at the one that Toge recommended, and then we'll take a very quick look at the one that Sime recommended, followed by this pixel artist that you recommended. And I think the Derp Tiles one too. So yeah. But no worries, no worries. Thanks for joining us. The Nana one. So yeah, let's see, what else are we looking at here? So we see a lot of texture like with the foreground itself. A lot of them, like I said, are using kind of like these pen mark things. I think it's interesting to see where not he, but like the artist doesn't use it. I don't know the artist pronouns. Like here in the metal you don't really see those same like textures, and I think that really makes it stand out that it's like made out of metal rather than some kind of you know, like fabric. I like the skull too. Oh, these like glowing eyes are really cool. What else? You know what? This like brush style is really cool too because it's also helping to outline and what's the word? Define. It's really like helping to define the shape of the boot, because let's zoom out a little bit. Let's look at the silhouette. Let's zoom out a lot. Yeah, I think this is the most that we can zoom out. If you look at the silhouette of the character, you want to be able to tell, like, from the silhouette, if this was all, like, blacked out, you could still be able to tell what the character is doing, or at least, like, you know, what's the general vibe of the character. This part over here gets a little bit lost, right? Because the foot is overlapping this back hand. But what the artist is doing is they're trying to use this very thick line to kind of define that shape, to make it look like, oh yeah, this is a foot. If he didn't have it, then the colors might blend a little bit too much in with each other, and that foot would be kind of lost against the hand. So that's a really good way to kind of like, not necessarily outline the silhouette, but just like make the pose a little bit more identifiable, even at a distance. What else? We got some background characters that, like, I think they show up later on. I think this is was it Nunu and Willump in the back. So that's also a cool detail. Hope your pandesal doesn't get isekai'd. We are gonna be looking at that artwork soon. Yeah. All right, let's go to another one. Oh, this one's another really cool texture thing. Okay, let's zoom in on this one as well. So this one has like a oh, what's it called? It's like the TV fuzz all around it. So I think this might have been an effect that was overlaid at the very end. Because you can do that with programs like Procreate. You can overlay kind of like the staticky noise effect. But it does add like a really nice effect to it. And I think, you know, this is just me, you know... Oh, you know what? I realized I haven't been playing any music. But actually, first, I'm going to step away for a second and wash my nose because it's really itchy again. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's like there's still like allergens in my room or something. Because I was sneezing during the break, and now my nose is itchy again. But yeah, exactly, Cielo. So it's like a noise effect. And I'm wondering if the reason why we see it here and not the other one is because there's already a lot of just natural texture in this one, but in this one the skin is kind of smooth. You still do see those pen marks though. Like look over here, you see the pen marks here. There's also a lot of texture in the legs too. You also see the pen marks here on the pants, and then like even these gills. There's already a lot of texture, but I wonder if they put the noise to kind of add to it because overall there's not as much texture as like the burlap sack texture that we saw in the first one. But I'm not sure. It's just conjecture really, but by itself there is also just a lot of texture. Really cool. I like this kind of it adds to the effect of like scales, you know, of like fish scales. And then that's really nicely contrasted with like the smoothness of both like the chest over here and then these crystals. What looks like crystals kind of on this guy's like cape. So really cool. Love the energy effects. I really like these like pen marks because they could easily just be like shading and decoration, right? But like they are adding more to that texture. It's like texture is the name of the day of the game. I suddenly want to play LOL. JK, I never. No, same. It's just not my cup of tea, or at least I think that my type of game, not my usual thing. But I've also heard things that like, you know, it causes a lot of anger problems. I thought the name of the game was League of Legends. Oh, you. But yeah. Oh, this is a cool detail. You have a figure in the foreground that is like drowning, and because this guy has like aquatic themes, right? Like he has the gills, he has like the scale texture over here, he has like these protrusions that are usually associated with like marine like animals and stuff. It's like assumed, you know, through like a little bit of environmental storytelling that like this guy's drowning because of this character, right? Oh, and he even has like the floaty. He could easily toss it to him, right? He could easily toss it to him, but he's like, nah. Nah, I'm good. You know, and then there's like this little detail here of the girl like fishing as well. So it's almost like it depends on how intentional it was, but it's like, oh, this gal's fishing for food. And this guy's also, in a way, this guy's also like fishing for food. But instead of throwing out a line, he's refusing to throw out a line. I'd rather play cozy games. Yeah, same here. Same. Yeah, cool. So that's another one. Let's take a look at the next one. Ooh, this is another one that is very like boogie woogie, right? So let's take a closer look at Shaco from League of Legends. Cool. So yeah, remember what I said about like that burlap sack texture? You see it here in Shaco's face. You're not seeing a lot of the pen marks, but I wonder if it's because it's the mouth is already super opaque, and then same with like all of these black parts of the design. They might have chosen not to put those inky lines. There's like a little bit here. There's like a teensy bit there. And there's some here too. Like, you guys know what I mean with like the inky lines? They chose not to put as much here on the face, and I wonder if it's because there's already like an abundance of like black here with the design. There's also really cool small details too. If you zoom in here, it looks like his hands are kind of stitched together, or at least like you could also say that they're just gloves that are stitched together, but they're kind of coming apart. But it could also imply that like he himself is coming apart. It goes into that whole like, like I don't know anything about these characters, but this guy seems like the Joker, baby, or like he seems like he's you know, this like kind of Pierrot clown type character that is like known for chaos. At least that's like my impression. At least from like the character design, this kind of lends to it. Like it seems like he's literally coming off the, you know, like the threads. You know, he could literally come apart with how crazy he is. Ooh, we also get a little bit of line language too with like, remember when we were learning a little bit about like how to use lines in art? You know, so like straight horizontal lines are known for like stability, vertical is known for like height and authority. Zigzags, like these like sharp angles and zigzags, they add like dynamism. They make an art piece very dynamic, right? But it could also like give it a little bit of chaos too, because if you think about what kind of zigzags you see in nature, it's usually going to be like pointy plants, thorns. I keep forgetting to put the music. There we go. Or you might see like a zigzag line in like a thunderbolt. These are things that are dangerous, right? So this kind of adds to that. Bro's falling apart, exactly. I like this song a lot. And once again, we have some background characters. Hi. Light. Light. We gon' roll out. We gon' roll out. Ooh, okay, so these are some cool details too. Like, you remember how I was talking about the inky lines? There are parts here where they're just kind of overlaid on top of the figure. It almost looks like it's almost like an afterthought, but it keeps adding to like the K. Oh, you know what? I take it back. You know how I was like, oh, we're not seeing a lot of inky lines. On closer inspection, you do see them. You see them here. You see them like on the outline here. You see them here, and then you see them here. So they're there. They're just not in the interior. They're on the border. Cool. You see the inky lines here. Here. They're helping to define the shape, definitely. Without like, because I think what the artist was trying to do is like, he still wanted like the light effects, like the light logic of like the light is hitting him right here in the back, but he still wanted those lines to kind of further define that shape. Battalion silhouette, you're so right. You're so right. Exactly. Very intentional lines. Yeah, I agree, Shad. I agree. Very intentional. This is like a very practiced artist. So cool. Alright, let's look at the last one. So I guess this is Nunu and Willump. Let's take a look-see. Oh, we were talking about line language with Shaco. There's a little bit more here too, where actually this one I might focus more on this guy rather than her, but a good example of like I said, the jagged lines, these are kind of like dynamic but dangerous. Curvy lines are safer. They're usually associated, like if you want to make something cute and like comfortable and like trusted, you use curvy lines. And you actually see a very interesting mix in this guy's design here, because his snout is very rounded, his eyes are nice and round, the overall shape of his head super round, even like his fur, it has very soft, you know, like rounds to it, very soft like curls to it. However, this is like the Halloween version. He's a little bit more like mischievous, right? So that's why you see like oh, this is an interesting one, like the lines, like there's curvy lines here that might just be his tongue, but it's to show that he's a little bit like mischievous, right? Yeah, exactly, Shopi. He's like friend-shaped. He's friend-shaped, but he still has a little bit of the mischief with like the sharp lines here, the sharp lines here in the horns. And even, let's go back to the fur. For the most part, it's very curvy, but then it ends in a point. They go up in a point. Oh, I like this song. This is such a good example. So, like, look, it's a curve, but it's almost like a sharp curve, too. So this curves up, and then suddenly zigzags, in a way. I like the little line over here in the little bed. That's so cute. Little details here, like the little sock on his shoulder. You know, we're seeing it here too. So this little child also has like the soft curvature of the face, soft curvature of the nose. But then there are sharp like points too, like in her hair. And in this like little cat hoodie too, right? Like overall it's curved until you get to this little point here. So they're really using like this mix of like sharp and soft to show that like, oh, these characters are very cutesy, but it's Halloween time, you know? It's like it's spooky season. So they're being a little bit mischievous. Straight out of Hollywood. Oh, my voice. Okay, I'm getting art XP from this. Nice. It's Rivians and Randon. Or Randon and Rivians. Your wedding ring. IDK Witch is a Witch, but I remember Randon is supposed to be a cover of the Song of Nunu for Riddler. I've never heard of the Song of Nunu, but I'd be interested. Love the hollow eyes. Yeah, that too. Really cool light effects there. Cat energy, exactly. To get on one knee. But yeah, so I'm just gonna review these four. There's also this one, the Zeri one, but I'll let you guys here. I have a challenge for you guys. You guys can do your own art analysis. There you go. But I also want to save my voice, so that's why I'm kind of like cutting it short. But the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at another art piece. This one was posted by Sime, or recommended by Sime. But this one is gonna be less of like a long form analysis, and we're just gonna kind of touch on it. We're just gonna take a little bit of a glance, talk about what we like. You guys can also talk about anything that you guys like as well. Analysis, Ligma. Ligma balls. Yeah, we can look at this one. So this was recommended by Sime. This is Tin Man Phase Face by Shutun. Let me see what Sime said about this one. Oh, so is this another Arknights thing? You guys always show me like really cool like Arknights designs. I like the color in this one. This artist knows how to do like so the word is iridescent. Iridescent is like it's like when you have a prism and you like reflect light on it and it shows like the rainbow. Or something holographic, like a Pokemon card, right? Like they show like different colors all in one. So this artist does a really good job of like showing that iridescence. Almost like a foil effect. Like look over here, and look over here. They do a really good job with that. Like it's like a gold foil effect. Let's see if we can zoom in. I guess we can't. Like I'm trying to zoom in, but I'm using like control, but it's not letting me. So this might be as zoomed in as we can get. But it, like considering that this character is like very metallic, I think it makes sense that this artist is really good with working with like metallic textures. I also like what's going on here in the background. This looks very Picasso. But they're also utilizing like this checkerboard pattern, which is in digital art, it's usually associated with like transparency, right? Like if something doesn't have a color, a texture, or a background, it has this checkerboard pattern. But they also have like screenshots from like a blue screen of death. So this goes well with kind of like, if I were to just take a glance at everything, we have like this machine theming, we have this like techno, but kind of like retro techno theming here. It's almost like image not found. Like the transparency plus the blue screen of death is almost like image not found. In a way, it's almost like a glitchy effect without actual glitchiness. And then the use of Picasso, because the thing with Picasso is like when he was in what's called like his cubist phase. In cubism, the artwork is a little bit more geometric, but the reason why like he wanted to go into cubism, well, not necessarily the reason, but one of like the cool things about his style of cubism is that he was experimenting with showing a figure from different perspectives at once. So what that means is if you look at a picture of someone looking frontally, like this figure right here, you'd usually be able to see their nose, you would see their mouth in a way, you would see both eyes. But if you look at someone at a profile, like from a side profile, you would only see one eye, and it would be drawn a little bit differently. You'd only be seeing like part of their nose or part of their mouth. Picasso wanted to show both those things at once. Technically, ancient Egyptian art does this as well, but like he wanted to show like, oh, this is like supposed to be a side profile, but you also see the eye on the other side, and the eye over here is drawn differently. So that was kind of his experimentation with that. It at the time, like Cubism and modern and like that whole era is referred to as like modern art, not to be confused with like contemporary, which is like nowadays. But it was a big shakeup to the art world. So this could kind of be this could kind of be like I don't know, calling back to that. It could be like, you know, the image not found, the glitchiness, but also like this is a shakeup, you know. You struggle with metal and jewels? I do too. So if you want, let's look a little bit closer. We can't. I keep forgetting that we can't. So it seems like for this part, what they're really using is, especially with gold, you want to use really, really bright highlights and really, really dark shadows. It's the contrast that makes that metallic effect. I think another thing is gradients. So I think we can, let me see if I can start a Google slide and see if I can like at least imitate something like this. We got history. Such a win enough for me. Oh, what could have been? Okay, let's see if we can imitate this. Let's take a quick look at this picture. We're gonna use kind of like a dull... This is like a dull brown, I want to say. But we got history. Okay, let's make this, let's take out the border. Let's make this like a dull yellow. So desaturated, something like this. So there, we have like our base color. Oh, but there's also some gradients as well. So we also want like kind of a bright yellow, like a super saturated bright yellow. So I'm gonna make another shape. And what the adults do, we got us to read. Maybe something like that. More saturation. Maybe something like that. So, you know, this could easily be like a highlight, but another thing that they seem to be doing is using gradients. So let's do a gradient. Let's make this color the one that we just chose, and then this one the other color, like the background color. See what happens. Yeah, so you got something like that where like the highlight color blends into that foreground color. Now let's look at the shading. Ooh, it's like super saturated. Okay, but that might also be a gradient. Let's do another triangle. I've been alone for so long. So for the shading, it looks like it's more of an orange, but it's super saturated. It's like closer to here. Might also want to darken it. Let's do that. So that's a shading, but let's do the same thing with a gradient. So we're gonna make this, we're gonna make it this color, and then we're going to make this one back to that like background color. What happens? Okay, we got something going on. I don't know like the intricacies of it, but you know that they're using gradients and they're using these like really extreme like variations in color. So the darks are very dark and the lights are very light, but let's add one more. Instead of a triangle, let's actually add a line. I think that might help us. Bam, bam. Let's add a line. Yeah, let's do something like this. Okay, so that's another triangle. Let's just use white. A little transparent line and then just white. So if we move it around a little bit. It's not perfect, but you know, like these are kind of the colors you want to play around with. You want to use gradients and you want to use like extreme differences in color. So like really dark shadow, a midtone, but it's still a little bit lighter than your like your midtone, and then like a really bright highlight, almost white, really. So let's actually see if we could. Let me copy paste. There we go. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's one way that you can kind of just play around with like metallic textures in a way. If I had more time, I would probably like spend more time like trying to get these exact shapes, but you know, it's fun to just play around. It's fun to just play around. But yeah, so that's all I'll say about this one. The colors are really, really well done. I like them a lot. So yeah, very cool, very cool. Okay, before we get into our next two artists, I want to take another voice break. So, how about I put you guys in recess once again? Do you guys want to play another game, or do you guys just want to chill while I eat a little bit of salad? You let me know. You let me know. Because this time we can do the boss battle again. We can do basketball. Depends on you guys, but I just know I want to rest my voice for a little bit. I forgot to tweet out. I forgot to tweet out. Right in front of my salad. Stretch break? Okay, well let's do a stretch break. How about you guys? I'll come back in like 5 minutes. So right now it is 8:03 my time. I'll come back in like 8:08. So get some snacks, stretch, go use the little bear's room, little cub's room. I'll be back. All right. Let's go, Shelby. Woo! Do. Let's go, Shadnord. Woo! You were AFK. It's okay. Your avatar fought for you on your behalf. All right, one more round on Mosh Pit, and then we'll get back to it. Uh-oh. It's not rigged, I swear. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I'm in danger. Alright, it is now 8:08. Let's get back to the main room. I ate enough salad. Croissant? It's not rigged, I swear. Thanks for the congrats. Okay, we got our next two artists before I take another break. That next break might be an ad break. But these were both recommended by Shiopi. So we have 5Crad, a pixel artist, and then we also have Official Derp Tiles. I was kind of conflicted on which one to like do more of an in-depth analysis and which one to just touch on, but we'll see, because this one involves dinosaurs, and I love dinosaurs. But this one, like, this pixel artist, like, for one, they have very detailed works, and it looks like they released a game. Ah, I didn't mean for it to start playing like that. No, it's not rigged, it's not. No! I'm blasting off again. So we'll see. Maybe we'll just give equal amounts of time to both of these. But yeah, so this next artist, they're called 5Crad. Let's go ahead and put it into the chat. You guys want to check them out for yourself? You're obsessed with their game? Ooh, I might want to give it a try. So yeah, this person seems to be a pixel artist, and they make really nice like architectural models like this. Ooh, very detailed. Ooh, how did they do italics? They did italic text in pixel art? That's so good. This too, so very cool like architectural models. But what I think what really stood out to me, all their stuff is really good, was these. There's something about the way that they did the text that just like I found very appealing. These are cute as heck. I agree. There's something about the way like the color scheme and the text that like it vaguely reminds me of like Pokemon, but like the Game Boy Color like Pokemon, you know, like sprites. Because for one, if you notice, it's actually a very limited color scheme. I think they only use white, pink, dark blue, and this like orange fleshy color. I think that's it. Oh, and this one has like a little bit of a mint as well. But otherwise, like, it's just those three colors. Or four if you want to count white. Right? But despite, I think when it comes to pixel art, using reduced color palettes is really, it's really fun to try. It's a nice challenge. And the cool thing, especially with programs that are based around pixel art, like Sprite, is you could easily replace that color. If it seems like this pink is just not meshing with this blue, you could change it around, and it won't. You don't have to go in and like do every single dot over again. You just have to use the fill tool on a certain setting. But yeah, it was it's the text that like, because usually when you think of pixel art, everything is kind of like on a grid. Everything is kind of like organized a certain way. I think this is a good compare and contrast here. Look at how they did the text here versus how they did the text here. Because here it's like all kind of on this grid. Everything I think probably has the same amount of pixel characters, not characters, but like pixel. Like let's zoom in. This is 1 pixel, and then 2, and then like 3 here. So it's like 3 lines width, and then what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 by 3. It seems like every other character, every other letter is like 5 by 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So it's all like equidistant to one another, right? So that's like what I'm used to when it comes to pixel art. I think this one might actually be the exception. This one seems a little wider than 3. Same with this one. As someone who has tried to do like text and pixel art, it is a little bit hard like to get it all within like you know, a certain grid. M and G are pretty hard because like, you know what, maybe I could show a demonstration. Give me a second. Sentimental trickster. Let's see, can I show this? There we go. Okay, let's use black. Let's say I want to do babinka. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want to make it like by 3, right? So we could do, that's E, but we could do something like that, you know? That could be I, or sorry, that could be B. You could also do something like that. But if you like start doing this, then it becomes like, that's not even a B. Well, it kind of is. It kind of is. But I prefer something like that. This could also just be 1 line. Or you could do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So yeah, bibinka. So yeah, you could do it pixel by pixel. Where it gets hard, let's see if I could show it. So bibinka. Actually, N is already pretty hard. Because like, if you just have like 3 lines, then where do you put this to make it into an N, you know? You could do this to make it look like a lowercase n. But like if you put it down here, you know, that's an H. If you put it up here to imply that it's diagonal like that, that just looks like a different H. So you could do this. Bibinka. Okay, so this is another one. So G. Actually, G isn't so bad. You could just do that. Bibinka. I just remember, like, M is one of the hardest ones for sure. Bibinka. See? So with just that, you could spell out my name. What program is this? This is Sprite. This is specialized to pixel art. So if we do M, that's where it gets really hard. So, you know, how do you make an M out of this? Like I said, this could be N because it's like the lowercase n, right? But if you put it like down here, that's a U. If you put it up here, that's more of an H. If you put it up here, that's an H. And if you put it up there, that's more of an H. So how do you do an M? Like I've seen people do kind of minimal and do this as M, but realistically, what you might want to do is just make it bigger than 3 pixels. So, you know, you could do something like that. So M is literally like one of the only letters that I remember that is like kind of hard to do in this style. Actually, I'm trying to do Z. Z is also a little... No, you could do that. You could do that. Let me try to remember how to do Q. Actually, I think Q is another one. It's like, how do you do Q, you know? Maybe do something like that? I don't know. So yeah, it's deceptively hard to do that. So here they drew it all in like one grid. But if we go back to the one I was talking about, this one is it has these little like I think someone said imperfections. I wouldn't call it imperfections. Yeah, the limited Game Boy palette. Yeah. Yeah, it's more of like, it seemed like they intentionally tried to like make it a little bit more personalized. It also seems like it's on a curve too. Like this word pancake, Mr. Pancakes, is like curving around the shape of the pancake, right? Same with like the crepes, milk crepes on meats, right? But it's also like, I don't know, I do love the little, like, look at the A here doesn't quite match the A here. Is there another? This S is a little bit different from this S. It's almost like each letter was like specialized for like the word that it's written in, you know? Yeah, I don't know, I just find it so interesting. It really reminds me of like old school Pokemon for some reason. There's a couple more examples here. I think this uses the same color palette actually. Like you have that orange, the blue, the pink, and this kind of mint color. It's really cool. And I think like one thing I always admire with pixel art is like, you know, depending on what scale you're working on, you could still make the image translate into what it is that you want. So like, you know, the pudding, the custard pudding over here, they put these little details that make it look like it's more convincing as like a little swirl, right? And then this color is like the outline, right? This blue color is the outline, but it also doubles as like the drizzle over the pudding, right? So you gotta be creative when it comes to using pixel art, especially with this kind of like reduced color palette. The soft serve looks really yummy too. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. So that's more of like that's one style, and then they have this other style that you see in their video game too. Aw, this is cute. I love the teddy bear. It's so tempting in pixel art to make everything more, you know, like uniform or like standing up straight, right? But I like how this teddy bear, it looks like it's all like flopped out. It feels a little bit more lived in. It feels like it's a teddy bear that's been cuddled and not a teddy bear that's just been bought from the store, you know? Bing boing! Boing boing! Cute! It's so squishy. Boing boing. You know what? Some of these I actually don't know if Oh, you know what? This is another artist. I'm silly. I'm so sorry. These are their retweets. These are their retweets. I'm so silly. So let's focus more on this artist's actual work. I should have actually went to their media page. Oh, but look, this is so cute too. Whoa, look at their portraits. Hello, Saku. Hello. Welcome, welcome. We're doing a little bit of art appreciation. We are currently appreciating the work of 5Crad. These are neat. These are really neat. I do want to focus a little bit more on, let's see, their architectural stuff. Chansui is always also one of my favorite pixel artists. Nice. Is that the one that we were looking at? Or is that another one? Pictro Pico? Pictro Pico? We could also look at Chansui next time. Okay, let's look at, oh my goodness. This is so nice. So like architectural stuff I still don't really have a handle on, but it's really nice to see. Oh, another one that they retweeted. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, this is an actual one by 5Crad. They do some really nice architectural stuff. It's not my forte, but I would love to look at it. So let's close this one. There we go. Ooh, this is interesting with the, I think one thing to pay attention to, like a little tip with using pixel art, is using outlines. For me, I like am pretty liberal with the use of line art. Everything has a line to it, right? Or it has like an outer line to it. There's even a really easy tool. Look, let's go back to Sprite and I'll show you what I mean. Oh no, I think Sprite glitched. Hello? Okay, there we go. And you're face to face. There's actually a tool, right, in Sprite. I think it's just Shift O. Oh, just kidding. It is Shift O, but I have to choose another color. You choose that. Let me press Shift O, and there you go. You have an outline. So it's pretty easy to do that, and as you can see, the outline, like, it encompasses everything. But I think you can change it around, but also what this artist is doing is that they're not encompassing every little thing in an outline. Some things do have an outline, some things don't. I think an important, like, place where they don't put an outline is right here at the bottom. And I think that makes sense because that is supposed to be marking the floor, right? You also see it, like, there's outlines here on the windows, but not necessarily here on the top of the windows. And I think it's, like, the places where this person does and doesn't use outline, it goes back to that whole idea of like defining and outlining the shape. As long as the shape is clear, you don't need an outline. But that outline does help to like define that shape. So we saw this with like the League of Legends characters, but here we're seeing it with like parts of the architecture. So here, because there's this like really big highlight here on top, I think this artist chose to not put an outline because it might have like clashed too hard with that highlight, if that makes sense. And they also have like slight outlines in different colors. Like if you zoom in right here to these pillars, oh, the cakes look so good. If you zoom in here to the pillar, not only do they not put one at the bottom because it's marking the bottom, but look, there's a thicker like black outline. This actually isn't even black. This isn't like a, this is more like a dark brown. And then they use like a lighter one here. This almost doubles as shading as well. It looks like it's shading over these parts. So that's also a pretty cool technique to try with pixel art. Is that you can outline things, but if you experiment with the different colors, it adds to a different effect. Ooh, the bricks are another good example. Look at these bricks here. Notice that how they don't put the brick texture, like, it's not consistently brick everywhere. They just put little lines here to imply that there's a brick texture. And not only that, but they also use like this very lighter color. It's even lighter than this color to show that it's like sunken in. But if they had used like this outline color instead, it might have clashed. It might have been way too busy because then your eye is focusing on these lines and these lines. And now these lines, it would have been too busy. So they actually made a really nice choice here of making it like a lighter outline. They even use like white here for the lights too, which is pretty cool. And then outline for the cakes as well, because that's kind of like kind of the highlight here. It's a evening cakery, right? So you want to highlight the cakes. They could have easily just used a lighter, what's it called, like outline color, but no, like you want to highlight the cakes. You want them to know that the purpose of this building is to sell cakes. And then the last thing I'll touch on, it's really subtle, but they make sure that you know that this is a window by using, look at the like reflection of the window here. That's a really nice touch to really like, and the thing is it doesn't distract too much from like the cakes going on here, but it still gives you that indication that like, oh yeah, this is a window. There isn't just like a gigantic gaping hole here where you could just take the cakes, you know? So yeah, really, really nice stuff. Love the details. Okie doke. So that is the work of 5crad. At first we had looked at the artist that they had retweeted, but I definitely recommend checking out their work as well. Let me put this one in particular. This one has a really nice design to it too. Here, let me put this in the chat. Yeah, it's super pretty. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so that is the work of 5crad. Remind me of the meme with Lex Luthor taking 40 cakes and that's bad. Yeah. I think that was from like the old Batman comics. I used to have one on my like live journal profile where it's like I think it's from like a learning how to talk or learning how to write book, but it's like, Robin, are you okay? Let me see if I can find it. Bow, 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 bow. Give me a second. I'm gonna find it. This is also my voice break until we go to the next one. Figures you and Gemini. I say voice break and then I start singing. In love before. Yeah, I know the meme. Don't worry, Matthew. I know the meme. Well, if other people want to check it out, yeah, it's there. Be the side you couldn't, DTR wouldn't. It would be nice if we could stay friends, but we shouldn't. No, the page isn't loading. It was like my live journal profile for like a long time. It's okay. But I think it is from that era, yeah. It's like a picture of like Robin and he like fell. And, oh no, I found it. Did you hurt yourself? Did you hurt your own body? Can you get home by yourself? Can you get home alone? And I think it's just, oh, here, it just says, help me. Please help me. It was on my profile for a while. I misremembered the joke in that it was terrible, not bad used. So yeah, this is the art of 5 crad, and then now let's go ahead and touch on official derp tiles. This one's really cute. This one was also recommended by Shiopi. So, what we have here is a prehistoric creature, a Diplocolus. But it's shaped like a croissant. By the way, this is the creature itself. We can also look at recreations of Diplocolus. It's such a... oh my god, it's so silly looking. I love it. You're off to bed? Take care. Thanks for stopping by, Shad. I appreciate you. There we go. So what is this? Extinct genus from late Carboniferous. So this is like okay, so if you were never like a dinosaur or like a prehistoric person, you know, like if that wasn't your hyperfixation as a kid, there's a lot of different time periods. Here we go. Oh, it's gotten more complicated since last I looked into it. But it's like eras, basically. I think I'm still kind of rusty with this, but Carboniferous I think is when there was a lot of oxygen in the air, so much that like the bugs at the time were gigantic. Someone who knows better can correct me on that, but yeah, this is a Diplocolus. He's just a silly looking guy. He's just a cute little guy. And look at his head. He's got this big, like, how would you say? It's like an arrow-shaped head, but the eyes are up top, you know?
Ooh, I just love sulfuric acid.
I do love sulfuric acid. You know what? There was a video that came out just today that I was going to recommend to you guys. It's by this guy that does, let's see, useful charts. Here we go. We're not gonna watch it, but it's by this YouTube channel that I love to watch called Useful Charts. They do everything from like historical charts like Family Tree, but they also touch on like mythology. They've been, because it's election season, they're also doing a lot of like, oh, the family tree of Jimmy Carter who just turned 100, and like, you know, the family tree of like Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris. So stuff like that, Targaryen, Trump family tree. They do a lot of really cool stuff. But they have also been doing this series where they go over like the evolutionary tree of life, and that's been really cool because he goes into both like extinct and extant, or extant and extinct. And if you don't know the difference, extant is the opposite of extinct. They're still living. So humans, sun bears, you know, we are extant. So the latest episode just came out 12 hours ago. So it goes over, you know, mammals, it goes over like our evolutionary history. It was really cool because things have changed since I last took like a anthropology class. So he goes over, here we go, like this is what I was talking about with Randon. Monkeys and apes are different. Monkeys have tails. And like, you know, there's also like Zabumafu and the Tarsier. They're all like related to us, so they're all primates. Apes don't have tails. They don't have tails, you guys. Orangutans, gorillas, and then chimps. These are our closest relatives. They don't got tails. We don't got tails either. Unless there's like a mutation, but otherwise. And he does like some really good details too. Like over here he marks the last chimpanzee human last common ancestor, because for those that like don't believe in evolution, their most common thing is like, oh, if we evolved from monkeys, then why are there still monkeys, you know? Randon doesn't have a tail either, exactly. So he's probably somewhere in this tree. And the reason is because like it's not that we evolved from monkeys or chimps, it's that we shared a common ancestor. So here like we had a common ancestor, and he did a really good job of outlining that like, oh, it wasn't quite a chimpanzee and it wasn't quite a human, it was something in between. And then like these two branches of the family tree branched off, and then eventually we got to Australopithecus afarensis, which like the most famous skeletal remains of one is Lucy. And then it like branches off into like this genus, and then you get into like, you know, these branches of the family tree. And then this is the part that has developed since I last took like an anthropology class. I knew about Neanderthals. I think a lot of people like nowadays in like pop culture especially, they know about Neanderthals. Back when I was learning about it, it was still oh, we have an ad break starting soon. I'm gonna snooze that actually. I wanna finish talking about this. um Back then when I was still learning about it, they weren't sure if we like evolved from Neanderthals, or if they were like another branch. And this, I guess the latest scholarly like resources say that like, oh, we're more like siblings or cousins than like descendants and ancestors, right? But I didn't know that there's another one. They're called the Denisovans. So it's pretty cool. And it says like according to like our genomes, we like human beings definitely like interbred with these other folks in the Homo genus, you know. So yeah, this is really cool. But going back to our friend, this guy Diplocolus, that's all the way in like episode 1, I want to say. He goes into like a really cool detail about like, you know, how did fish when fish were like, you know, going onto land and evolving to become like land dwelling animals, how did that happen? And it's like it wasn't just that a fish decided to like go on land, right? It's like over the course of like millions of years, there were fish that like occasionally go on land to get more food, just like the modern day lungfish. And then eventually they just started like because of like what's it called? Their circumstances made it so that like eventually like evolution and like genetic mutation and all that, it's too much for me to really explain, but like basically evolution made it so that these fishies, they stayed on land for longer and longer and longer until eventually they became more like terrestrial. They became more land dwellers, right? And then you saw the reverse with how what happened to whales and dolphins. They started off as like more wolf looking. Actually, we could look up cetaceans. Sorry, evolution is another thing that I really like talking about. Here we go. They look more like these guys. And then I've also seen memes of like, brother, no, don't go into the water. And he's like, it's okay, I'm just gonna get some food. And then millions of years later, they become whales. Where are you on the tree? I will show you. I do remember he did touch on like marine animals, because by now he's covered all the animals. So let's see. Animal Kingdom, there we go. Let's see, we have starfish. Where are the sea slugs? I think it's, oh, here. We're getting close. There's gastropods, nematodes. Here, yeah, I think that's gastropods. There you go. I'm a mollusk. Yeah, there we go, mollusca. You're closely related to the octopuses and the nautiluses. These guys are cool too. I like there's another word for these guys, right? The little flatworms, the ones that like you could cut them in half and they turn into another worm. You know a nautilus? Nice. But yeah. This whole series is like pretty cool. I like it. Fully recommend. But also, let's go back to the croissant. Oh, it's so cute. How do we know that prehistoric amphibian Diplocolus didn't look like a croissant? We have do we have any evidence against the croissant theory? Thing is, they're right. They're 100% right. How do we know that it didn't look like a croissant? Well, also that does go into a little bit of a deeper conversation of like, well, what did dinosaurs look like? That was an interesting one. I forgot if we went over it in this in stream before, but is it all tomorrows or all? It's basically a book that is like, what if aliens saw like our remains and they tried to reconstruct us, but they did it wrong. All Tomorrows? It's not All Tomorrows, but it's like that same... It's fiction, speculative... C.M. Kozman? It's not All Yesterdays either. All Your Yesterdays? Reconstruction of animal incorrect. You love All Tomorrows? Me too! Me too! I still don't actually have the book, but I've seen, like... I've seen, like, pictures from it. Here we go. Okay, wait, give me a second. Oh, it is All Yesterdays. It is All Yesterdays. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys the... I'm gonna show you some, like, pretty scary looking monsters. They're gonna look kind of creepy. Where are the bees? We'll go into that. But look at these creepy creatures, right? What are they? So this is a speculative book of, like, if aliens found the remains of, like, animals that live nowadays and they tried to reconstruct it the same way we tried to reconstruct dinosaurs. And this is what they end up with, right? So this is actually using the skeleton of an elephant. This is what aliens might think an elephant looks like, because, like, things like their trunk is not going to be preserved in the fossil record. I think this one is a zebra, and this one is a rhino, right? But they look so scary. I think the term for it is, like, shrink wrapped, and that's been, like, a discourse in, like, the paleontology community is like, is this what we're doing to dinosaurs, right? Because if we look at, like, reconstruction, is it Carnotaurus, colorful arms? Yeah, soft tissue decays, exactly. I want to show you a cute video. I think I showed this before. I'm pretty sure I did. It's, like, coming back to me, but I just want you guys to see it again. So there is this show called Prehistoric Planet, and it's, like, I think the latest of you know, like, dinosaur documentaries, but this time they're showing off, like, new theories that we may have about how dinosaurs really looked. And one of the things is, if you think about T-Rex and other, like, T-Rex-like dinosaurs, they have these really small arms. They're so small that, like, they wouldn't have been used in battle, but or in hunting, but they, like, evolution didn't choose to, like, do away with them. So they still might have had some kind of use, or maybe there was just no reason to select against having arms. But one theory... Can I make this a little higher quality? No, I can't. Okay. I won't play this with sound. One theory is that, like, they might have still used their arms for, like, mating display. And this is a really cute section of Prehistoric Planet where they try to show that. Let's see. There we go. So look, this one's encountering a potential mate. Ready? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Are you guys ready to be wowed? Are you guys ready? Oh no! Oh no. It's okay. They're checking each other out. Oh, they're displaying towards each other? Okay. See, you know what, I think this might be the male. He's trying to woo her. Ready? Wait, nothing yet? Does he have any other tricks up his sleeve? Look at his little arms! Look at his little arms! They're blue! He's got these big... Oh, he's doing a little dance! He's doing a little dino riz! He's doing a little dance! Isn't that cute? But the thing is, we don't have any remains to really say for sure if that's why they still had arms, right? We don't know for sure. But, you know, there's also no evidence otherwise. So what if? It's so cute. Isn't it so cute? And then they got married and had kids. Don't look at the rest of this video. I think she walks away. I think that makes me sad. No, as far as I know, they got Dino married. They had Dino babies. I cannot unsee that he looks like he's doing the gritty. He's doing the gritty. Why do they even have arms? Exactly. That's the question, right? Is like evolution didn't select against having arms, because otherwise then like it just wouldn't have arms, right? If it was a detriment to them like hunting, then evolution would have selected against having arms. But for some reason they kept it. It could have be as simple as like, oh, they're not a detriment, so we're not gonna evolve them out. But it could have also been like, yeah, they might have been used for like these mating dances, these mating rituals. A lot of if you look at like the skeleton of a peacock, would you be able to tell that they have like these beautiful designs on their wings, right? If they use their arms, wouldn't it be better to be bigger? Maybe. But also, like I said, this the funny thing with evolution is that a lot of them are kind of just working with what they got at the moment. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting theory, a game theory. You know, I never actually watched that channel. But I think the last one is velociraptors. If you think of how they were shown in Jurassic Park, they're like these scary, like these things, right? They look scary, but now modern reinterpretations make them look more like this. They look like birds. And I even hear that they're turkey sized too. So yeah. I heard a theory that the arms were basically vestigial, and if they continued to evolve, they would have lost them over time. That's another good theory, right? Because it's the same with whales and like legs, their legs. Whales still have vestigial like leg bones, but they obviously don't use them anymore. So over time, you know, like it's also possible that like what if they were vestigial by that point and they had like fat over the arms and we just didn't know about it, right? So yeah, it's either way, right? Could be anything. So yeah, our next retro game is all about dinosaurs too. So so yeah, with all of that in mind, we come back to this, and you know, who's to say that Diplocaulus wasn't a croissant? Yeah, I know we didn't do as much like interpreting of the art itself, but yeah, no, it's just a theory. It's just a theory. All right, guys, I want to take a little bit more of a voice break. After that, we have two more art works that we're going to be looking at. Or we're going to be looking at this artist, Frank Franzetta, recommended by Owen, and then we're going to be looking at Filipino Isekai. But we'll just touch on this one. We're just going to look at it. But let's go ahead and put you guys in recess. And I think I'm just going to force an ad break right now so I can eat my salad. But I might take a little bit longer. So you guys enjoy yourselves in here. I take a little bit long, like a 5-minute break. So I'll be back at 8:50 my time. So 5 minutes from now. All right. Enjoy the ad break. See you guys then. Alright, we are back. We're so back. I finished more of my salad, got some more water, and I think we could do our last couple of works, or our last two focuses. So, welcome back, everybody. So we got two more artists to look at. So, we got Frank Franzetta. This was recommended by Owen. We were talking about, what were we talking about? Let's go back to that post. We were talking about Siri. And we were talking about how much we like the, gold jewelry kind of as an accent to, kind of desert fantasy stuff. And then he was showing me some of his favorite artworks. What was the one that you... Oh, yeah, so this one. So we'll look at 3 of his works. So this one, and this one. Some of these ones are a little spicy, just a little bit spicy, but really cool texture stuff going on. So before we get into that, though, I am a little bit curious, a little bit of his background. So we'll do what we did when we were looking at Adrian Brower. Right, let's take a really brief look at his Wikipedia, and then we'll jump right into looking at his artwork. So let's see. Oh, he's already passed. I didn't know that. So known for fantasy, science fiction, comic books. Yeah, his style definitely like lends itself well to like comic books. Definitely. He's often referred to as the godfather of fantasy art. Renowned illustrators. 2003 documentary. Ooh, painting with fire. Very cool. So the likes of Jack Kirby, I see. Very nice. New York native. Nice. Famous funnies. Oh, cool. So these are like, classic traditional paints as well. So yeah, so it seems like he has a lot of really cool like sci-fi desert fantasy type stuff. So let's go ahead and take a good look. You can see the canvas on this one. This is really cool. So if you look like in the back here, you could see like the strokes that like this would kind of be like this reminds me of like that first layer you would put down on a canvas if you're doing like a painted work, either with acrylic or oil paint. I suspect this might be oil. This looks like it's oil because the transitions are very smooth. Yeah, the classic fantasy art, right? I always get reminded of like Star Wars, like the movie posters for Star Wars. I think what caught my eye immediately is how he does musculature. Because like it's very bold. Like you can see, you can tell this guy knows his anatomy because you're seeing like the rib cage and then like all of the different muscles here. But you can clearly see that defined rib cage, and then the shading is like kind of below the rib cage up until here, until you get to like the knee. Ooh, you know what's interesting? The colors. Let's zoom into like the male figure first. Look at the different colors they use, because they do use this kind of like flesh tone. It's a little bit more on like the yellow side, but look at like this. There's some slight green as well to the shading and the highlights here too. This one I actually am not sure if that's part of. I think that might be armor, actually. But even here in the shadow, in the shading, there's a little tint of green. So it kind of like unifies it with the green skin here, but that could also be explained as this could also be light reflecting off of their green skin and onto his skin. That's pretty cool. Very sculpted figures. Lots of like the shadows are dark and the highlights are very bright for the musculature. They're all very well defined. The Star Wars movie was directly based on. Oh, cool. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Ooh, this rocky texture. I think if you guys have you guys ever seen like those artists like quite literally on the street, right? Like they're the ones that do like the aerosol paint. And then they create different textures, like especially with like planets and stuff like this. I believe they would make use of like I remember seeing them use like magazine pages, right? And then while the paint is still wet, they would like put a magazine page on it, and then they would like just rip it off. And it creates these really cool textures with these like grassy parts that might just be with like the back of their brush. So lots of really cool texture work here. This one, like these parts of like this moon and planet, They seem like they could. No, they are. Okay, so it is that kind of like newspaper magazine paper method, because like you can see the canvas underneath. Like where it's darker, that's the underlying canvas. But at first I thought that it was him actually like laying on the paint and making some like texture with the layers. But no, I'm pretty sure he's like spraying the paint. I think it might be airbrush. That's Someone feel free to correct me on like the actual medium. I don't know if it's oil paint, but now it's starting to look more like it's airbrush. So while it's still wet, he takes like a newspaper, lays it down, and then takes it off in a way that creates this texture. Let's see. Yeah, really cool like knowledge of like musculature here too. And anatomy. Overall, the colors are also really interesting too, because he's choosing like overall it's like yellow orange with like a little bit of white and green. Usually, well, especially nowadays, you see more so like blue and green, or no, blue and orange, because those are complementary. They like highlight each other. But here, the green and the orange are also doing a really good job of like kind of contrasting with each other and like reflecting off each other. Pretty cool. And then I just noticed something right here in the corner, is that like here you don't see a lot of detail. It almost seems kind of like an afterthought, but I think that is fine too, because that's not necessarily like the focal point, and it kind of creates this illusion of depth too. Like the less detailed it gets, the more it looks like it's kind of sinking into the darkness. Meanwhile, the real focus is going to be like on these two figures and these over here. So pretty cool. I like it. Alright, so let's look at a couple more works. Oh, and you said that these are some of your favorites, and I like them. So this one seems kind of Egyptian themed, right? So we see like, ooh, this pillar, it looks like it's made out of marble, right? So there's some Egyptian theming. We even like these shapes over here, they're reminiscent of how Egyptians would draw like lotus flowers. There's definitely inspiration, but some parts I wouldn't say are like super accurate, but then again, I don't think that's the focus, right? The lighting is so good, yeah. Look, you can even see like, this looks like it's light shining from like outside, like sunlight, but it's probably being covered by another pillar outside. Or not pillar, an arch. An arch. Because then you can see this is like the shadow of the arch, and then the light is shining directly through, and it's directly here on kind of like the center, or almost the center of this pillar. And then it like, the light kind of like diffuses the more out you go. So all the things that are kind of being hit directly, like they have this like huge, even on her nippies, like this big like burst of light, but then it diffuses to the rest of like either this pillar or her body. You also see it here on this guard. He's mostly in shadow except for like his headdress and then like the metal part especially. Very cool use of shadows too, because look, he's just using like straight black, or what appears to be like straight black for like the darkest parts here. Oh, and look, he's not doing the spots of this, I guess, cheetah. If we're assuming this is Egypt, this would be a cheetah, but the musculature looks a little bit more like a jaguar, but that's just being nitpicky at that point. But look, he doesn't, he could easily put some design here too, but all he needs to really do is imply the design here. Ooh, look at these details with the stone too. It's not like perfectly, you know, straight. There's some wear and tear. That's a really nice detail. Same here with the pillar. Yeah, like there's some imperfections. It makes it look like this is like a lived-in environment, right? I feel like that's something that a lot of people sometimes forget to do, is to put some little imperfections here and there on the environment. It makes it look like the place is lived in. Like it's not just like a set piece, you know? Their use of color is like masterful in this one, because I'm still stuck on the marble, but if you like go down here to her dress, it's so like colorful, it's so iridescent. There's like gradients here. There's like this vibrant blue, this vibrant green with red and yellow. Admittedly, this shade of blue I feel like wouldn't be like, you would see it more on like stone art like this, but maybe not clothing. But still looks really impressive. Like at this point, I'm just being nitpicky, right? I'm just being like, well, actually, Egypt wouldn't have had something like this. Yeah, they would be showing their boobies, but not like this. No. No, but like there's some parts that like definitely like signal, they hint to like a person that like might not know anything about Egyptology, like this is Egyptian. Like you see that she has a, oh, this is a cool detail. She has what's called a uraeus here. Uraeus is like it's a snake. It's a cobra head. It's supposed to be representative of a goddess named Wadjet. Her and another goddess, a vulture goddess named Nekbet. They're usually known as like the two sisters, and they, if you see them, it usually shows that this is like a ruler of unified Egypt. But here we have like the Uraeus. You see it on like a good amount of Egyptian gods and goddesses. She also has the eyeliner that's supposed to be reminiscent of the god Horus and the Eye of Horus. And then there's also an equivalent called the Eye of Wadjet, where it kind of has this shape, but they would also have some lines down their cheeks as well. So it is supposed to look very Egyptian, right? Also, arguably, she would have like darker skin, but but also, you know, Cleopatra was like an Egyptian pharaoh, and she was Greek, so you know it's not too out of this world for her to be light skinned, right? But they also have the more darker skinned guard over here with his headdress too. So yeah, I feel like a lot of my critique is just like, actually this isn't accurate to ancient Egypt, but like the actual artistry, the actual technique is like A plus. It's like amazing. The composition too, you notice that like she as the focal point along with the lid part of the pillar is all under this arch too. So that's a really cool composition thing. The lighting is amazing, the colors are amazing. There's even the slightest bit of marbling here on this pillar that he's resting on. It's just so much. It's just so much. It's really good. It's really good. So let's look at this one, and then that'll be it for Frank Franzetta. And of course I chose this one because, well, oh, when you said it's one of your favorites, but also bears. We got the bears. In response, what's the title of this piece? I'm not sure. I actually don't know. I'm just going off of what was posted in Art Appreciation. They're all your favorites? Nice. The bears. The previous one? I don't know. I actually don't know. Yeah, the only piece of text I see is his signature. But yeah, still super impressive. Okay, so ooh, this is a cool one. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, so let's take a look at what we see. We do see a figure, armored with a sword. They have long hair, but their face is mostly in shadow. Oh, Egyptian queen. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, and you know, if that is like making a reference to like Cleopatra, then it would be pretty accurate in terms of skin tone. It was made for Eerie magazine. Nice. Because yeah, Cleopatra was, so there is one thing with like Egyptian like depictions of Egypt is that like there is a long history of it like kind of being whitewashed, especially with that one like Egyptian gods movie. And as a response, like there's been more of a call to show like Egyptians that have more African features, right? Like the darker skin and like the broader nose. However, not to be that person, but there is also, Egypt was one of those metropolitan places where, yeah, they definitely would have had more like African features, especially because they regularly traded with people from the south who were the Nubians, so they definitely had more African features. But because this is North Africa and they're also kind of like you also see like more Arabic features as well in that part of the world. It would have been kind of a mix. And then once again, there's the whole thing with Cleopatra. She was ethnically Macedonian, actually. Greek Macedonian, I think. So she actually probably would have been more light skinned. But the cool thing about Cleopatra is that even though she was like ethnically Greek Macedonian, she like was down hard for Egypt. She knew Egyptian. She like, I don't know if she like grew up in Egyptian culture, but she like, you know, this was like a case, like I would argue that this was a case of like cultural appreciation rather than appropriation. So yeah, at least like from like the depictions of her I've seen, like she seemed like she was pretty cool, you know. This is Silver Warriors, which is for the Silver Warriors book from Michael Moorcock, part of his Eternal Champion series, if you're familiar with the character Elric. I'm not, but it reminds me of like, you know, Alphonse, Edward Elric. But also this is a cool composition. So like moving back onto here, we went from like kind of the desert aesthetic to like now this is like a snowy aesthetic. You're getting some like Nordic vibes from here. Moorcock, ah. I misread that. And Schneecker, he wants some attention. I'll pet him after this. I am getting a little bit of like Nordic, like Scandinavian influence from this, from like the armor and like you did also see in like Scandinavian mythology too, is that like, oh, they had chariots that be pulled by like geese and stuff, right? Edward Elric is named after Elric the Oh, I see, I see. The more you know, the more you learn. Nice, thank you. So he's here on this sled, and then there also seem to be like the legs are kind of like skis to help them navigate through the snow. So that kind of makes sense in universe, right? And then it's being pulled by these like 4 polar bears, and you could tell that he definitely used a reference. Like he looked at pictures of polar bears, or you know, God forbid he like someone IRL, but because they're very dangerous. Yeah, Schnackery. He's okay. Let me get him over here. Come here. Come here. More pets?
Ooh, I just love sulfuric acid.
Aw, Schnackery loves it. Schnackery, come here. Aw, he's like licking himself. He doesn't want to get near me. Okay, yeah. So you could tell that these he used a reference for these polar bears because they look very accurate. It's not like the horses in medieval times. Wait, medieval horses, where it's like it's very clear that this person did not know how to draw a horse. Here we go. You know how to draw a horse, right? Yeah. The thing is, this looks pretty accurate. This, not so much. But yeah, like as opposed to that, we have here. It looks like these actually do look like polar bears. They have like the very broad snouts. They have smaller ears. They have the hilariously large paws that I love so much. What I like here is the shading. Look at the shading over here, because like they're using a lot of purple to kind of offset like the blue that you're seeing around in the background. There's also blue here actually. This is a really cool mixture of like blue and purple to make use of the shading. Overall, very blue, very purple. I really like how they do the mountains over here, because usually, especially if you ever watch like a Bob Ross tutorial, he usually starts with like the sky and then the mountains, and then he builds out from there so that there's like trees and forest and like more trees in the foreground. But here it's meant to just be like a snowy mountain, so there's no need to show anything other than the peak to show that it's a mountain, and then the rest you could explain as like, oh, it's covered by fog or snow or like other snow, right? Schnackery. And then you also have like this shine from the sword. Come here. Come here. Come here. He doesn't want to come next to me. Come here. He likes just sitting there and staring at me as he's like, meow. And then even the shading over here. So here's a little bit of an art tip for y'all who are like budding artists or like want to improve your art a little bit. When it comes to landscapes, one thing to keep in mind is what's it called? It's atmospheric perspective. There we go. Atmospheric perspective. And what this means is that things that are further away, they get a little bit desaturated. Oh, these are good pictures. So if you're drawing like a landscape, this is good right here. So the closer it is, the more you see it's like actual color. But the further away it is, you want to imagine that there's like a fog of atmosphere that is basically like making it lighter and more desaturated. Here's what it looks like kind of in painting. And then here's what it looks like in real life, where, you know, you see these figures are a little bit more defined. Here it gets a little bit lighter, right? This is another good one. Like here you can clearly see the trees, but the further away you go, you can still kind of see the mountain itself, but it's almost like there's a fog in front of it. Blur tool, my beloved, exactly. So you're seeing that here too. It's a little bit more faded, because like it's kind of like a similar color here, like the white of the polar bears and the white of this snow. You want it to be white, right? But this one's a little bit more of a blue. This one is more of like an actual white, but even the shading is like a light purple. It's like a lavender to show that atmospheric to show that atmospheric perspective. So that's a really cool technique. And then over here we have like the armor. Schnackery, come here. Okay, I'm gonna pet him a little bit. Man, he really wanted attention. Okay. The last thing I'll say about this one is, yeah, so they have a very interesting color choice here. The yellow. They got like yellow, green, and blue here. And I think it's because most, like, the color palette here is, for the most part, very, like, it's cool colors. So it's I think I've talked about color before on one of my, like, educational streams, but, like, blue, green, and purple are typically associated with, like, cool colors, and then colors that you see on fire, like red, orange, yellow, those are considered warm colors. Overall, this is a very cool color palette, right? You got the purple, you got the blue, little smidge of green, but then he chose to also balance it out with a little bit of red, like the lightest smidge of red, a little bit of yellow too, to kind of like help draw our attention to, like, oh, this metal sled, and the red of his hair, and the sword. I want a carriage pulled by polar bears too. Yeah, right? Isn't it cool? But you gotta tame them. They're very dangerous. Those ones. Those are the ones that, like, you know how it's like, oh, if you see like a brown bear, play dead, and if you see a black bear, fight back. If you see a polar bear, just give up. Like, there's, like, I'm sorry, there's not much you could do. Like, that thing will catch you, and depending on how hungry it is, it will eat you. So the best thing is to just avoid that area altogether. Or, like, be in a place where, like, you are sheltered, because these guys, like, they don't play around. But the poor guys are also going extinct, so, you know, you understand. You understand, right? Okie dokie. So those are just 3 samples from the work of Frank Frazetta. I keep saying Franzetta. I think it's just Frazetta. So yeah, thank you, Owen, for recommending them. Thank you. So their work is pretty cool to see. Manual bury because Twitch won't let us. Oh, it's because I shut off raids. I'm sorry. It's because I knew I was gonna end pretty soon. But thank you, Vitehite. Thank you for the manual bear raid. Manual bear raid. The question is whether it kills you first before it eats you. That's true. Yeah, thank you for shouting out Vitehite, Matthew. Yeah. So hello, Vitehite. We're doing our art appreciation. I did turn off raids because I'm probably gonna end after this one. But these breaks, the voice breaks, have been really helpful. I feel like I was able to go a little longer than usual. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you're playing Celeste? How are the thumbs doing? How are you doing with that? Because I saw like Randon's playthrough, and it's like, dang, that one looks hard. But yeah. Thanks for the manual raid. All right, so this is the last one we're going to be covering. We just looked at the art of Frank Frazetta. That was recommended by Owen. Thank you for recommending them. And then this last one, we're just going to briefly touch on. We're not going to go like all super detailed on it, but this is the work of Chocolato-kun, and this is a Filipino isekai, a mock-up of one. And this was recommended by Mayshark, I believe. I think I'm in the last room of the bonus stages. My thumbs are plotting my death. Oh no. Oh no, take care of the thumbs. Whenever you need to show me approval, you could just... I imagine you, like, giving me a thumbs up and you just going, like, ow. You could just say it verbally. Alright, so this is the last one we're gonna touch on. We got Filipino isekai, so let's see what happens. So, I'm gonna be late. She even has, like, the Filipino uniform, right? Oh, she has the pandesal in her... she has the pandesal in her mouth. That's so cute. And oh no, she's about to get hit by the tricycle. Ah. Boom. Is this it? Is it finally my time to get isekai'd? Condolences to the loss of your pandesal. Dang it, I'm still here. So she didn't get run over, but she did lose the pandesal, which is now isekai. There's like dragons. Not the dragons. Oh my gosh. So that's pretty much it, but it's so cute, isn't it? I love the little touches because I didn't grow up in the Philippines, but I do have like friends that you know, like I always mention that I like was part of like a Filipino club. And like the club isn't just Filipino Americans, but it's also people that like lived in the Philippines and then came over here. Dragon D's nuts. So, when we do our performances... Oh, I should announce... Wait, I'm not sure if I can announce it, but I'm going to be participating in a in a raid train, but I'm gonna wait until they tell me I can announce it. But I am gonna be doing an educational stream for that one too. So, yeah. So yeah, I have some friends that like migrated from the Philippines, and whenever we would do our theater productions, especially if the scene takes place in the Philippines, they would have the uniforms. The time I escaped being eaten by being isekai'd as a pandesal. That would be so cute. Like it becomes like an anthropomorphic pandesal too, like the slime anime, right? Yeah, they have these uniforms with like the little name tags. I think boys just wear like a button down, I think. Oh yeah, and if you don't know, this is well, I know it as a tricycle, but I think it has another name, right? Is it like a rickshaw? Not really, because it's called tricycle because it's like a guy on a bike, but then this like passenger compartment has a wheel on it. So let me see. Filipino tricycle. There we go. It looks like this. Yeah. So essentially she was getting run over by like, well, not really a bike, because like it's like a motorized bike. No, not a jeepney. A jeepney's different. That one's like more like a car. Like it's a jeep. Not now. Oh, why is that so small? But yeah, these are like more like jeeps, right? But tricycle is more like a it's like a motorbike but with like a little side compartment. She's so sad. I like she has the duster. Wait. Give me a second. Where is it? Where is it? Alright, let me move the table. There you go. Look, I'm matching. I'm matching. I'm matching with the titas. I have my little duster. But yeah, and then let's see. Yeah, it's isekai into the dragon. The dragon lands. I think last detail I'll share is pandesal. Isn't you think with the name, especially because it sounds like a Spanish, like what is it, like salty bread or something? But no, it's like breakfast bread. I just forgot why it's called pandesal, but there we go. She dusts us. I know, I'm sweeping you guys with my walis, with my broom. Salt bread? Isn't there another reason why it's called pandesal? I forgot. Pandesuelo. But it's like breakfast bread. Here we go with ube. It's really good. But yeah, this is cute. This is a cute little work. I like it. I would like to see more like Filipinos in anime, right? Because I feel like the only ones we have are like one guy from Baki, like, and oh, that one island in Fate Zero that like got massacred because wasn't it like that's the one that was like fooling around with the it's the one where like Kiritsugu Emiya, he grows up, and then there's like, I think that's where the vampires strike or something like that. It's implied that that island was like in the Philippines somewhere, and it's like, really, that's our representation, getting massacred and boxers. But yeah, we need more. We need more of this. We need more of this. The mom from Japan sings too. Oh, was she? I didn't watch Japan sings. I've been interested, but I think that was like at the. I just noticed that she says yawa. That's like a There's a Bisaya word which like is used as a swear, but the etymology of it is actually like it used to refer to spirits, like spirits and deities, but because of like colonization and like the Spaniards trying to kind of like villainize everything that was like pre-Christian, they turned it into like a word for demon, and now it's used as like a swear. But it's just funny to see it because like my mom's Bisaya, and she like when she swears she's like ay puta kayawa, like she always says that. Not the bike cart. Isekai tricycle. So there's a little pun here. Isekai, you guys know what isekai is, like going to another world. Someone who knows Tagalog might need to correct me, but sakai is like to ride. So isekai tricycle, like let's ride the tricycle, or to ride the tricycle. I just know sakai, or sakai. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nakasakay na siya ng jeep, guys. She's riding on the jeep, guys. So going with that isekai pun. But yeah. So, alright, that was the extent of our we reviewed 8 things today and I didn't quite lose my voice yet. So, I'd say that we were pretty successful today with our art appreciation. So, yeah. That's about it. I think let's just go ahead. Even though I didn't lose my voice yet, I am feeling pretty tired. So let's mosh. Let's call it there, and then let's raid. So let's see, moshing music. Okay, what are we listening to? Let's bring out the floating projector. Okay, we'll put the desk back. There we go. What are we listening to today? Can we have Casper's Ghost Schools? Oh, we can! Yes, we can! Ghost Schools and Monsters. Thanks for the fun stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. It makes me happy to be able to, like, talk about stuff like this, right? Alright guys, if you've never done a mosh pit with us before, pick an emote and spam it, and I'm gonna do a command to make your stream avatars fight each other. So now, we open up the pit. No, you opened up the pit. Let me put it a little louder. I love how he draws himself. He's so squishy. Crank it up? Okay. There you go. He's so... Oh, I love how he draws himself. Schools and monsters. Your bed, I wonder. Dude, that part of the art is so good. It all is, but I just love it. Schools and monsters. Your bed, I wonder. Ooh, Hiraga. Hiraga streaming. Nice, let's go, Matthew. Nice. He won the mosh pit. And it's not rigged at all. But are you ready for round 2? Monsters! When outside's under your bed, I wonder. Violence! Are you ready for round 2? Wolves and monsters. Outside's under your bed, I wonder. Oh my god, you guys were like all bunched up except for Hanel, who was like chilling with the green HP. The freaking Germa one. The freaking like Germa cameo kills me. Oh no, I killed you, Hanel. I'm sorry. It's not rigged. It's not. It's not. It's not. No. I'm in the shambles. Congrats. I know the fact that it's both me and my mod that won the mosh pit. Oh no. Good job, everyone. Good job. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's RNG. It's RNG, I swear. I swear. Okay, so last thing is I'm almost for sure canceling tomorrow's stream because I want to watch Randon do D&D. So we're gonna do that. So tomorrow's digital art stream most likely canceled, but I'll also tweet it out and I'll also put it on the Discord. So thanks you guys for tuning in. I do love our art appreciation. For once, my voice isn't completely dead at the end. So this was a success all around. So we're gonna raid into Hiraga. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a pretty cool iguana VTuber. Very adorable too. Wait, why is it paused? Isn't it kind of late for him though? But alright, we're gonna go ahead and raid into him. I'll see you guys next week actually. I'll see you guys next week. I'll have my schedule out on Sunday. So yeah. I'll see you guys. Iguanito, yeah. Alright, let's start the raid. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, and as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Bye-bye, stinky one. Yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate you. Bye-bye, good night.